Hi, I am Poem Praise to Peace and blessings to you. I'd like to welcome you to an evening read here on Poem Praise 2. We are going to be reading Out of Lies My Teacher Told Me by James Lowen. We are still in chapter number 5, Gone with the Wind. This is take number 18 that I have for you. So without further ado, let us go ahead and get into take 18, okay? Without further ado, it reads as such. On the other hand, 10 textbooks imply or state that Jackie Robinson was the first African American to play Major League Baseball. In the words of American Journey, even though he wasn't. Students never learned that blacks played in the Major League until the nadir. So the usual textbook storyline, generally uninterrupted progress to the present, stays in place. None of the books that treat the Springfield riot tells that its aim was to drive out the entire black population of the city. No textbook even mentioned sundown towns. The Americans notes that the progressives did little for African Americans, which hardly does justice to the movement that removed black aldermen from city councils across the nation by enacting at-large voting. Current authors do emphasize that African Americans were not more victims, but did respond to the new oppression that surrounded them. In the progress, one moment, y'all. Bear with me real quick. Okay. That's better. Now let us continue on. I stopped at where the new oppression that surrounded them. Okay. In the process, however, the journey goes too fast. African Americans rose to the challenge of achieving equality. It assures us subsequent subheadings are equality for African Americans and other successes. No nadir here. And none of the textbooks that do more or less recognize the nadir ever analyze the causes of the worsening. Textbook authors would not have to invent the description of the nadir from scratch. African Americans have left a rich and bitter legacy from the period. Students who encounter Richard Wright's narrative of his childhood in Black Boy read Ida B. Wells' description of a lynching in the Red Record, or sing aloud Big Bill Brunzies. If you're black, get back. Cannot but understand the plight of a people envisioning a narrowing of their options. No book can convey the depths of the black experience without including material from the oppressed group. Yet, not one textbook in my original sample let African Americans speak for themselves about the conditions they faced. It is also crucial that students realize that the discrimination confronting African Americans during their era and afterward was national, not just Southern. A few textbooks point this out. Therefore, most of my first year college students have no idea that in many locals, until after World War II, the North too was segregated. The blacks could not buy houses in communities around Minneapolis, could not walk in the construction trades in Philadelphia, would not be hired at department store clerks in Chicago, and so on. As late as the 1900s and 2000s, some northern suburbs still effectively barred African Americans. So did hundreds of independent sundown towns more than half a century after the Brown decision. Even the American Adventure forgets its own good coverage of the Nadir and elsewhere offers this simplistic view of the period. The years 1880 to 1910 seemed full of contradictions. During Reconstruction, many people tried hard to help the black people in the South. Then, for years, most white Americans paid little attention to the blacks. Little by little, however, there grew a new concern for them. The trouble is, many many white high school graduates state this world view. Even if white concern for blacks had been only sporadic, they would argue, why haven't African Americans shaped up in the 100+ years since Reconstruction ended? After all, immigrant groups didn't have everything handed to them on a platter either. Y'all, we almost done with chapter 5. I just saw that. But here's a picture right here. Can you see it? I'm going to read to you the information that's right up under this picture, okay? This is a lynch mob, often posed for the camera. See, they showed no fear of being identified because they knew no white jury would convict them. Mississippi, Conflict and Change, state history textbook I helped write, was rejected by the Mississippi State Textbook Board, partly because it included this photograph. At the ensuing trial, a rating committee member said that such material would make it hard for a white lady teacher to control her students, especially in a predominantly black class. At this point, the judge took over the questioning. Didn't lynchings happen in Mississippi? he asked. Yes, admitted board member John Tunapast, lead defendant. But that was all so long ago. Why dwell on it now? It is a history book, isn't it? Replied the judge. No textbook in my sample of 18 includes a photo of a lynching today. I must add that this photo is actually from Omaha, Nebraska. In 1929, down there by the courthouse. Go ahead, go look that up. Omaha, Nebraska in 1919. Lynchings happened everywhere. And y'all, we actually gonna finish up chapter number 5 on our next take. And that next take is not gonna be too long, okay? Because I'm gonna stop this take right here. This is take 18. So that does complete take 18. Stay tuned to Poem Praise 2 for take number 19. We'll complete chapter number 5. I do thank you for staying this long to hear this reading that I have for you here on Poem Praise 2. If you are not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe at this time. Hit that thumbs up. You can certainly share or hit that notification bell. You know when Poem Praise 2 is coming with something new for you. I do want for you and your family to be well, to be safe, be blessed, be it thy will. Poem Praise 2. I'll talk and I'll see you later, y'all. All right, till tomorrow.